Hey guys, Eddie here with Stance Coaching. Coaching is all about change, but you might be wondering what kind of change is best? Should I change my behaviors and actions, or should I change my thoughts and beliefs, or is it something else? Like, what is it? How should I go about making change that's the best way? I want to share with you guys a way to think about change that will hopefully help make it easier, because when we start getting confused and start like wondering what's the best way, or is this right, is that right, that leads to inaction actually. So hopefully this model will help cut through that. This model is called How We Change and How We Stay the Same. Unfortunately, I don't know who to credit for this. So if you recognize it, will you please let me know who developed it? So it looks like this. And the first thing to notice is just that it's a self-perpetuating cycle. And so you could see how if it's how we change, that it's like an engine of change. But if it's how we stay the same, it's kind of like a vicious cycle of stuckness. And it kind of like it's a cycle that doesn't go anywhere. So how can this model show both things? Well, this first circle here, and really there is no first circle, any of these could be the first one, but the first one is who I am. And this is like one way that we kind of think about ourselves or think about our world. It's our identity. It's our ethnicity. It's our, background and past experiences that have formed us into who we are. It's our values. And so this is kind of our personality, right? It's kind of like who we think of when we ask ourselves, like, who am I? The next circle is what I do. And so this is like our behaviors. What actions do we put out into the world? How do we relate to people? And the third one is how I see the world. And this is all about like, what is my perception of things? How do I judge things, or what do I project? What is my relationship to the world? Do I see things through a filter? What is that filter made of? What are my sort of beliefs, and like, what do I think is sort of true about the world? And so you can see how these can form a self-perpetuating cycle that can reinforce itself and get us stuck in a certain way of being. But this video is about change. So we're going to talk about how this can actually help you think about ways to make changes in your life. So the answer that cuts through all the questions that you might have about like, what's the best way to change, is simply this: start where you are. Start with whatever circle is the most accessible to you. Like maybe what's easiest for you to wrap your head around is like this kind of fake it till you make it approach, right? Where you just start doing something, and that's what gets you to actually start seeing the world differently, or start seeing yourself differently. And that can kick off that engine of change. Or maybe it's easier for you to go inside and reflect on like, what's my narrative? What is it? How is it serving me? Are there parts of my identity that I want to let go of? Or are there identities that I want to try on and just see how they feel, right? So maybe starting from this circle is where you get the most energy from, which then kickstarts this engine. Or maybe it's this one down here, where you're really hungry to challenge your assumptions or change the way you see things and try on different frameworks or mental models that help you shape your reality as you can perceive it. And that is what gives you energy. So hopefully what you can see is that any of these circles helps you to shape the other circles. And it eventually, as you build that, it will start reinforcing itself, and it will start sustaining itself, for better or for worse. So start where you are. Start wherever gives you the most energy, and trust that if you follow that, you will start seeing changes in the other realms of your life. Thank you.